Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Noah. Welcome to Field Report. I am just getting back from a 6 or 7 day overlanding trip with my buddy Mike Emery from Slow Baja. You might remember him from episode 2 of the podcast. If you haven't listened to it yet, make sure you go check it out. Mike's a great dude. He runs a little guide service down there, taking folks up and down the peninsula, showing them the sights and the sounds and the tastes and all the ins and outs of a place that's really near and dear to my heart in Baja, California. So if you aren't following him yet, make sure you do it. Solid dude. Anyway, I was riding in Michael's right seat on this trip. I was helping him navigate. I was on the radios and I was shooting some video content. And it was a really, really amazing trip. So Michael, thank you so much for having me, dude. I will ride your right seat anytime you want, man. In the course of getting ready for this trip, I had a couple things that I had to think about. And so I had to be really particular about what gear that I took on the trip. And that's what I want to talk about today, is what I took and why I took it. The first of the 3 hoops that I kind of had to jump through was weather. Baja this time of year has some crazy weather extremes. It can be rainy, it can be sunny, it can be windy, it can be hot, it can be cold, and it's literally day to day kind of changes. So walking into it, I know that's something that I'm going to need to be thinking about. The other thing that I have to think about is, his FJ. There's a windshield and there's a little top half, soft top, but there's no windows there's no side windows, there's no back window, anything like that. So I know, 24/7 I'm in the elements. So I really got to be prepared. I got to make sure anything I bring is going to be bomber and it's going to keep me comfortable. The third hoop that I got to jump through, and probably the smallest hoop, is, his FJ is tiny. So all I have to pack in is this little bag for 7 days. So I have to be incredibly particular again about what I'm bringing. So I want to walk through some of the stuff I took and kind of why I took it. And kind of walk you through my reasoning, and hopefully it'll help you find some things you might be looking for. So the trip started in just outside of Tecate in this place called Rancho La Bayota, and it rained on us for probably the first 6 hours of the trip. I knew that was a possibility, so something I needed to be prepared for. Fast forward a couple days, we're down in Guerrero Negro doing some whale watching. It's a lot of marine layer there, so it's breezy and really moist, damp air, and we're out on the boat, and we're literally arm's reach from these whales, and their blowholes are going off and soaking us with water, and it was amazing. But again, wet, cold, something that I had to be thinking about. Fast forward a few days, we're getting pretty far south, and we're on the El Arco Road, kind of cutting to the Sea of Cortez, and we're pushing into the upper 80s. Starting to warm up, super sunny, beautiful days. Again, knew the heat was coming, something I had to be prepared for. Then we get over to Bahia de Los Angeles, and it's 30 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting up to like 40, 45 sometimes. But it was weird. If you were behind a windbreak, you were fine, but if you were out in the wind, it was really cold. So again, got to be ready for that. And then we get everybody across the border, and Michael and I are cutting back to Tecate at Rancho La Bayota, and we're coming across La Rumorosa at, probably 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. And it probably was in the low 40s. So we're super bundled up again in his FJ. So something I got to be ready for. So let's walk through the kit. I'll show you what I took, talk about why I took it. We'll start from the bottom and, kind of make our way up. The first thing I took is the Tradesman Heavy Twill Pant. These pants are unbelievable. I wore these on a similar trip about a month ago. And got them broken in, and these are quickly turning into some of my favorite bottoms. This heavy twill is really cool because it kind of feels like a denim, breaks in like a denim. I mean, twill, that is what denim is. So the more you wear them, the more they break in with you. So these were incredibly comfortable, which is incredibly important when you're wearing them for multiple days straight. These have a good weight to them and are nice and thick. So I knew they were gonna block out the wind, pretty good, and keep me, warm enough. And most importantly, abrasion resistance. I'm out there, literally running around cactuses, running through bushes, climbing over rocks to get shots. And, these are keeping my legs safe. So something I thought about, but really do dig these pants all around. Just a good all-arounder pant, great color, kept me super comfortable. Even in the rain, they dried out quick. This is a great choice. When things started to warm up a bit though, probably the last 2 days of the trip, I did switch over to my union work pant. These are V2. I've had these for a while, so they're, nice and broken in. But again, abrasion resistance being a big concern of mine, and this double knee really helps with that. They're not quite as thick as this heavy twill pant, which is great. So I knew as it was warming up, I could switch into these, and I'd be not overheating. So great options. It was starting to warm up a little bit, but again, you're overlanding. You got to be thinking about stuff like this. Anyway, this is a great little combination of cool weather, less cool weather. Moving to tops. When things started to warm up a bit, again, I switched over to this shirt. This is the Iron Resin Hightail Ranch collab popover shirt. This thing was absolutely clutch because, these little buttons right here are great because, again, as it started to warm up, I would just kind of leave that unbuttoned and I'd pop the collar up so I had some sun protection. And this thing actually breathes pretty incredibly well, considering how thick this material is, because this material thickness, it's not really even all that thick. It's just really abrasion resistant. So it was nice because, again, hopping over stuff, crawling around stuff, something I got to think about. It's got these elbow patches here, which are really great. I think at one point I was crawling under a truck, shooting someone, fixing an airbag, a broken airbag. So I'm on the, we're on a dirt gravel road, and I got my elbows down in the dirt, not worried about, getting messed up. These 3 buttons again are great because I don't have dirt coming in, down, getting everywhere. And again, this shirt was just thick enough that the abrasion resistance was there, and it's just thin enough to keep me cool. So really loving this shirt, been wearing it a lot lately. Highly recommended for overlanding trips. Super stylish as well. The other shirt that I wore a lot is this. This is the dead stock shirt. I wore this shirt for, again, probably most of the trip. It's kind of the same deal as the brigade pants and like herringbone. So got a little bit more weight to it than the popover shirt. So I had like a merino wool base layer on, and then I just wore this over it. And this was great because if I was out of the truck, walking around town or walking around camp, I had this on and it was breaking the wind, or, if it was a little cool, this was keeping me warm. Also bonus points for a nice dark color. So, riding around on a bumpy road, trying to eat a burrito, didn't have to worry about burrito stains. But yeah, this shirt came in super handy. These nice big pockets were up here for, stuffing some pesos or like putting a memory card or, whatever I got to do. This shirt was super handy. Again, I wore this most of the trip. I probably could have worn it every day if I wanted to. But it's nice to have a fresh shirt to put on. And again, I don't have a lot of room to pack in, and I only wanted to pack really 4 things. So whatever I was wearing needed to work in that environment, but I also liked having backups. If you get covered in oil or you get super dirty, covered in mud, I got a backup. So, these all work together really well and set me up for success. But I can't not talk about the keystone in this whole operation. And if you know me, I'm not leaving town. I'm not leaving my house without my cruiser jacket. And this jacket was absolutely clutch on this trip. Trips like this are what this jacket was absolutely designed for. So like I said, first 6 hours of the trip, it was raining. So I'm sitting in the truck and I got water dripping on my arm coming over the side of the top. And, I was fine because it's waxed. So it's just, beating right off. That whole day we're driving around, it's just like misting everywhere, inside the truck, and the rain just kind of flowing around. And I'm fine, because I'm not getting soaked. It's all just running off. Fast forward and we're in those crazy winds in Bahia de los Angeles, and I just zip this jacket up, and this wax canvas is it's just a total windbreak, and kept me very warm, kept me very comfortable. The gusseted shoulders on here were fantastic because, I got a camera to get, the camera up into position. The gussets were great because I didn't feel like I was getting clamped down on. I felt like I could move like I needed to. So yeah, this jacket was pretty much on if I was in the truck. It really came in clutch and really showed its true colors and just performed incredibly. So, me, I can't recommend this jacket highly enough. So anyway, that's what I took on the trip. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you go check out Michael Emery and Slow Baja on all the socials. Give him a follow. If you're thinking about going to Baja, that's the dude. Give him a ring. Thank you so much for stopping by. We will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.